I just got off the phone with a football player at a small school in Michigan who just completed the Freedom Fight 30-day challenge. And I'm going to share with you almost verbatim what we talked about because this is what transformation looks like. It's not theory, it's not hype, but it's real life. I got my notes on the screen right here, and I want to kind of just read to you guys our conversation. Dude, you just finished the 30 days. How are you doing? Was it hard? Was it easy? Worth it? Not? This is what he tells me. Man, it was very hard in the beginning, like really hard. I remember you telling me that I had to drop social media and I was clinging to it because I didn't think that I could really let it go. I didn't want to let it go, but you were right. Once I finally deleted the apps, I became amazingly productive, like shockingly productive, is what he said. I had so much mental bandwidth, I didn't even know I was missing these things. I said, that's huge. What else shifted in you? Well, we talked about in the beginning what it would look like when I'd go and stay with my girlfriend. I went to visit her last weekend, so I pumped up the air mattress for myself and slept on the floor of her dorm. But we actually talked about that, and we know we're playing with fire. I told her I'd sleep on the couch of a friend next time. I'm not playing games anymore, and like I said, it feels great. And then I laid into him. I go, you know what that's called? Silence. It's worship. That's called worship. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody's patting you on the back or giving you a round of applause. That's Romans 12. That's your spiritual act of worship. And the reason you feel incredible right now is because you're doing what you're created to do, which is worship the living God. He said, that's so cool. I absolutely feel great. Like I've never felt this way before. I feel clear-headed, strong, alive. It's really hard to describe, but everything about me feels different. So I told him, you told me about the one relapse. He had a relapse and he checked in and told me about it. You told me about that one relapse. Did you have any more? Be honest. He said, yes, I relapsed right after that. But after I deleted social media for good, nothing. I had no relapses, zero. And I felt like the trigger chain got broken and felt like I closed that access portal. And I said, that's incredible. How are you going to keep the ball rolling? This is what he tells me. That's what the question was about on day 30. I'm joining a new small group and I'm going in bold, not beating around the bush. I'm launching with vulnerability like you talked about. I'm going to tell them straight up who I was, what God's doing, and where I'm headed so that I can invite them to continue with me. And he said, I'm going to text the small group leader and see if I can share about this when we start next week. I told him, okay, send me that screenshot of that text before the end of the day as a little accountability, right? I got the screenshot within 2 minutes, which was awesome. He then says this next. I told my girlfriend, you've been leading us, and thank you for that, but now I'm taking the responsibility. And he said this. She was real quiet for a second, then she started to smile. So you were right, T-Mac, about how she doesn't want to be the one to hold me accountable. Guys, your girls don't want to hold you accountable. They don't want to be even a part of this. And then he hit me with this. He said, Tyler, I couldn't have done this without you. I want you to know how appreciative I am. Brothers, that's it right there. That's why we do this. It's not about perfection. It's about direction. He relapsed once, and then he kept going. And he fought the social media idol, and he won, and now he's finding freedom. He set boundaries with his girlfriend. He's stepping into headship. He's walking into a small group ready to be the first one that's going to be vulnerable, and that's how movements begin. That's how they begin. That's how they start. I spent, no joke, an average of 65 to 70 minutes over 2 phone calls with this guy. And then I received some text messages from him throughout the day for 30 days. And his life is changed. That's all I did. That's all I did. Guys, you can only ride the fence if you don't have the balls. It's time for you to grow a pair. If you're still scrolling, if you're still hiding, you're still letting these pixels dictate your confidence, your leadership, your future marriage is at stake. Hear this, the other side is real. Clarity is real. Strength is real. Gratitude from the people you love is real. Sorry, I'm getting a little fired up. I'm fired up because he's fired up. You cannot mess this up beyond repair. You're not that powerful. The Holy Spirit is infinitely more competent than your failures are destructive. So if you enjoyed that, send this to a man who needs to hear a real testimony and not just theory. And reach out. I'll set you in the right direction too. Thanks for watching.